In this video, we are going to look at a specific type of linear equation. Now, as soon as I say slope, some of you guys think of the slope formula, but a lot of you guys will jump into y equals mx plus b. So that is what we are going to look at today, y equals mx plus b. So this is called slope-intercept form, and we call it that because those are the two pieces in the equation. So us mathematicians, we're not super creative when it comes to naming these things. A lot of times the name just describes it. So in slope-intercept form, you have the slope and the y-intercept. So the m value is the slope. So the slope is always the number with the x, and the b is the y-intercept. So remember, when you graph the y-intercept, the x value is always 0, so it's always going to be on the y-axis. Remember, for your slope, that's where you want to use the rise over the run. So let's say I had the equation, let's do 3 over 2x minus 4. So if I had this equation, the y-intercept, let me change color real quick. So the y-intercept would be the constant, the number all by itself. So again, when I try to graph it, make sure you have a 0 first. So 0, negative 4. So if, let's move on to our slope. So the slope is always the number with the x. So that is 3 over 2. Now, if we were to graph this, we would start by graphing this point. Then we would move to the slope. So the top number tells us if we're moving up or down. The bottom number tells us if we're moving left or right. So just remember those signs. Because that top number is positive, we're moving up. Because the bottom number is positive, we're moving to the right. So let's say I have quick coordinate plane here. Oops, let's fix that a little bit. Okay, so I would start at 0, negative 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all the way down here. Then I'm going to go up 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, and over 2. And I would draw my second point. From here, you can repeat the slope up 3 and over 2, or you can draw your line. Normally, we say at least 2. 3 to 4 is much better. The more points, the more accurate your line. So this is how we would graph the equation 3 over 2x minus 4. So just one more example real quick. Let's say we had y equals x plus 5. So this is the one case where some people get a little confused about the slope. So your y-intercept is still the 5, so we would graph 0, 5. And then in this case, there's no number in front of the x, but we know that when there's nothing there, there's an invisible 1. So in this case, your slope, oops, sorry, let's change that color. Your slope is 1. Now, we always want to have a fraction for the slope, so we'd put a 1 under it also. So whenever you have a whole number like 2 or 5 or 9, you can always just put a 1 under it. So we would go start at your y-intercept here, then you'd go up 1 space, over 1, and draw your second point. So that is your quick review of slope-intercept form.